All right, Ron Goodall, FightHype.com. I'm here with a living legend in the boxing game, Mark Two Shop Johnson. How's everything going?
Man, everything's wonderful. You know, just enjoying myself, coming to the fights. You know, trying to support the home team, home crowd. You know, the kids from Washington D.C. trying to support them.
You know, there's a lot of big up-and-coming amateurs that turn pro that's on the card. I know there's Jordan, Ben Johnson, Jordan Roach.
I think I watch those young guys a lot in the amateurs, man. Them young guys can really fight, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing them, you know, in the pro career, man. Just you know, taking over the sport of the game now. It's, you know, the youngest taking over now. So I'm looking forward to seeing them.
You know, I got to ask, you know, modern day boxing, you know, in your era, you fought everybody, you didn't duck nobody, and in all cases, you gave the fans exciting fights to watch day to day, even, you know, to go back. So, just going back in your career and just looking at it, like, how would you look at your overall, and were you very satisfied of everything that?
I think I'm very satisfied. I think a couple of fights that I couldn't get that I wanted, like Michael Carbajal, fights like him, I think that would have been a great fight for the boxing fans, the boxing world. So since I couldn't get the fights that I wanted, you know, I had to move up in weight, still as a small guy, and I lost to Marquez. He was a big guy, a big puncher, but I looked at his career and say, hey, I lost to one of the best. But I think right now we got more and more up-and-coming fighters, and I look forward to seeing them.
Who's some of the fighters that you enjoy watching in today's era?
You know, I enjoy watching anybody that can box. You know, I like guys that can box. It was the art of the game. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, with DC, we got a lot of good fighters coming out now too. So we got a lot of up-and-coming fighters that's coming out, and I'm looking forward to seeing them.
You know, I have to ask because the biggest fight that just happened probably be the biggest rematch that happened with Tank and Lamont Roach. Two guys that are very familiar from the amateurs, both saying that it was going to be a good fight, and they delivered on it. Just what did you think about the first fight?
I think it was a great fight. You know what I mean? I think both guys did a wonderful job. If you ask me, I seen things that both fighters could have done a little more. But I think Roach had a great time, a great fight, and Tank had a great fight. I think we deserve another one. I mean, that's what it's about. You know what I mean? It's about deserving and giving each other, you know, chances. Give them another one and see what happens. Hey, we might get a three-fighter. Who knows?
How do you approach a rematch that kind of had that type of close, combatant performance?
Well, you still want to go back and look at things that you might miss, that you think you could have done, and a couple of things that you've seen. Oh, I could have threw this punch, I could have thrown that punch. So both guys are going to be doing a lot of studying on what they could have done to get over on the next guy. So they're going to be doing a lot of studying, and I'm quite sure Roach father's going to be there looking, and I'm quite sure they probably just start looking now. You know, so it was a great fight, and I look forward. And Lamont did a wonderful job, man. I mean, you know, a lot of people didn't think Lamont was going to do that, and I knew he was going to do it because I know who Lamont is. Lamont did a wonderful job.
Do you think we get a different fight now because, you know, Lamont's a lot more confident than the first time, I'm assuming, and Tank probably has some questions he might have to go and change up so that he can maintain his status of being, you know.
I think Lamont still probably going to box him, or might do a little more boxing. I know Lamont seen some shots that he could have hit that he missed. So at some point, you might get one time he might walk Tank down, then one time he might come back and start boxing. So who knows? Who knows the game plan until it's there? You know, I can't begin to say the game plan because I'm not there.
What do you think about the other guys in the division, like Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis?
I mean, I like all those guys. You know, I watched a lot of those guys grow up, and that weight class is loaded, man. Mm-hmm. That weight class is loaded, and it's a lot of guys that's closer to the DMV area. Yeah. So it's loaded, man. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of that. I mean, they had the middleweight tournament. Maybe they need to have a lightweight tournament.
Yeah. That'll be sick. But, you know, there's a lot of money and politics and network, so something that you had to deal with throughout your whole entire career. So I do have to ask, because you were the king, what many people feel of the you know, smaller divisions, and what there's in this era, it seems like it's Naoya Inoue, who's been moving up weight classes like you did, kind of showing exciting fight speed, technique, power. What do you think about him as a...
I think he can fight. I think he's doing a wonderful job. Who knows if he move up in weight? Because if he move up in weight, he may not be strong enough. But at the way he is now, doing what he's doing, he's controlling it. Yeah. But if he move up, who knows if he's going to be strong enough.
When you watch him, do you see a little bit of yourself in him?
Well, you know, I see a little bit of myself in every fighter. Mm-hmm. if you ask me, not to pat myself on the back, but
no, but you were there before everyone.
Yeah, but I think you see a lot of stuff that you've seen that you could have done or you could have seen that you could have missed, and I think you see a lot. Like right now I'm going up, and the whole game didn't just change.
Yeah. There's this fight that someone's moving up 2 weight classes, and I know you're familiar with Terrence Bud Crawford and Canelo. That's going to be probably, if not the biggest fight that gets made this year in America. So
it's going to be the biggest fight. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the biggest fight that gets made. And what I tell people is this sometimes. A lot of people will talk about the weight class, but a lot of times, Bud might walk around at that weight. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he might walk around at that weight. He's comfortable with that weight. So evidently, I know when he first came in the gym, he probably was that weight. Mm-hmm. So he felt comfortable. So he felt comfortable with himself, and he patting himself on the back because he feel like, hey, guess what? I got this. I can do this.
What do you think? What's his attributes and his skill set? Is he able to pull off what many people feel is a tough task of fighting against Canelo Alvarez?
Well, any fight is a tough task when you're moving up 2 weight classes. That's already a tough task of his own. Not just who you fighting, because he could be a guy that's not that good, but if you're moving up 2 weight classes, he's big and strong. You might not sustain the power that you had at your lower weight class to knock him out, and he'll hang around. So it's gonna be a good fight. I look forward to seeing it.
Think you should watch him Too Sharp, because I know many people feel that he's going to have to box and move and use his jab and lateral movement.
I think he can outbox him. I think he's going to work a little bit in the inside, but I think he's going to try to outbox him. I think he's going to outbox him.
Would you if you had to pick? Do you have?
I never pick because every time I pick and something happens, man, you picked this. So now I never pick. I just say I'm looking forward for a great fight.
No, that's awesome. And I guess my last question on that is, Canelo. Many people have criticized him for not fighting David Benavidez, or not knocking out certain guys. Is the Crawford fight the fight where he gets credit for taking?
No, because you're fighting a smaller guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're fighting a smaller guy. David Benavidez in your weight, he asking for you. If you want to get the people the fights they want, and you want to make the money you want, David Benavidez and him. That's it. Two Shop Johnson, man. Gone live.
Awesome. Anything you want to tell the fans out there real quick?
Thank Mark Two Shop Johnson, 3-time world champion. First African-American in history to win the title at 112 and 115 twice in the history of boxing.
Woo! Awesome. Appreciate it.
All right.